behind me is a butterfly garden. My neighbor actually grows monarch butterflies. You might see some flying behind me. Today we're not going to paint a monarch butterfly, but we are going to do a sweet little blue one. So come on into the studio with me. We'll practice the wet on wet technique. It's super fun and easy. And let's paint this blue butterfly together. Okay, fellow wanderers, I am just going to try something, and I thought I'd go ahead and record it and just see if it works. I'm just doing a butterfly. I made a simple little sketch. So I'm going to go in with my kneaded eraser and erase the harsh lines. You can just make a sketch of a simple butterfly, and I'll be right back. Okay, for color, I've got some blues and a teal and an indigo. I have a little 6 round brush, and then I have a 4 mop brush. I've got a link to these in my description below the video. They're the Cobia. It's a set of 9, and I think you can get it for $30, which is great because they hold a lot of water. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come in and just wet. This is just going to be a wet on wet, watching the pigment run in the water, which is what I love about watercolor. It's fun to do this as a little practice. No skills necessary, and it just is enjoyable to watch. So I'm going to do one wing at a time, one side at a time. All right, so my water's in. I'm going to get a color. I'm going to start with this teal color, and I am just going to drop it in at the edges and watch it do its thing. I just love watching watercolor get carried by the water. Okay. Super great. All right, there's that color. Then I'm going to go right in with this blue, and I think this is a Prussian blue, and watch it kind of push away some of that teal to just move into those spaces where there's water. Maybe even in here we'll do some. All right, I love the way it makes those little granulated, fingery looking marks. Try it a little darker here and here. And you can just kind of build up and make it look like whatever you want. And there's no right or wrong with this. You're just letting the water do its thing, the pigment do its thing. You can tip it and let it run. So I might even get some more here and let that run a little bit. Now my paper is not 100% cotton. If it was 100% cotton, this would maybe even run a little bit more. All right, let's go with this darker and see what that does. I'm not going to put in as much of that, but okay, so my paper's starting to dry and it's not running as much. So I need to be careful here that I don't start going into dry paper. So I need to get this in quickly. Okay, just kind of move your paper around a little bit. If there's enough water on it, you can get some movement. Yeah, I like that. And maybe right in here. And remember, you want your brush to have more pigment on it and less water than what's on your paper so that you don't get a bloom. Although with this butterfly, a bloom would not hurt it. Okay, now because I did this side before I did this side, I'm going to have to try and match this side. I did not think about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here and just create some of my lines while I have some pigment here. And I'm not really following any particular thought. I am just creating lines and then making lines come off of those lines. Butterflies have different designs on their wings. And so I'm not doing anything particular, but I am going to have to try and match it over here. Okay, so lesson learned, maybe do both sides at once. But let's try it and see what happens. This can be a unique butterfly that was created with two very different wings. Okay. Like there are some people who have one eye that's one color and another eye that's another color. This can be a shout out to them. All right, I'm making sure that this is really wet. Working that water into the paper. Okay, let's try this again. Let's start with our teal color. Drop it in. Let that get running. And down here, just trying to think of where I put it on the other wing. Okay. And some in here. Okay. Now I'm going to go into this Prussian blue. I'm going to get that laid down while this is wet. Let that do some running even. Tilt it. Oh yeah, I love that. That is what got me hooked on watercolor in the first place, is that right there. Love that. You could spend hours putting water down and pigment down and just tilting your paper and seeing where it runs to. I think that that is even therapeutic. You're not in control of it, and it is just creating something beautiful without any effort on your part. Your picture is just kind of painting itself. And I love that. I just love that. Okay. Let's do it here too. And now let's get in there and get our darker color, which I think is an indigo. It's either an indigo or it's a Payne's Gray. It might be more of a Payne's Gray, but that's okay. Payne's Gray has blue in it. And that's what I was looking for, was just a darker blue to put in here on the edges. So let's start with tilting this. And then let that run a little bit. See how it's creating some little fingerling of color here. And then I'm going to put it here and let it run this way. And even a little bit here to match this side. And I think we're going to be okay as far as matching. I don't think it needs to be matched exactly. Okay, let that run a little bit. And then I am going to do what I did with the other side and kind of tilt this and add some teal here. Let that run a little bit. And then add some of the Prussian blue. And let that kind of run out into the wing. Got a spot here that didn't take. There we go. Okay. I think that that's really pretty. All right, let's get our embossing tool. Now you can use a credit card, the round edge of a credit card if you want. So I'm just going to try and mimic the shapes that I did on this side. And it doesn't have to be exact. I don't think anybody's going to be looking at it and saying, oh, that doesn't exactly match up. There's so many little lines, so many little veiny things. Oh yeah. I think this is going to be great. You can even pull from this side, and that pulls the darker paint out if you want. Okay. I think that's going to dry really great. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with my blow dryer. Okay, I've got this all dried. Something that I noticed when I was drying it is you could turn it around depending on if you want your big wings at the top or at the bottom. And I think I'm going to do it like this. So taking this same 6 round brush, I'm going to go in with my dark color. Whether that's indigo or Payne's gray, I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. It's the dark color. So whatever paints that you used, go in with your darker color for the body and just fill that in. Now this is just my first layer of the body. I'm going to come back in over the top of that and darken that up. And even bring this down a bit because now this is the tail instead of the head. All right, so I'm going to go back in and get thicker paint. This is still wet, so I can drop it in. And you might wonder, well, why can I darken it up right now and not wait for it to dry and go in and darken it up? If there's still wet on it, on the paper, you can go in and keep dropping in color, but as soon as it starts to dry, you need to stop and let it completely dry, or you get those blooms. All right. And once it dries, if I come back in with darker color, it'll actually be darker than if it's wet right now. All right, so I'm going to let that dry. While that's drying, I am going to put in my little antenna. And to do that, I just need a little detail brush. Tap off the end. Almost forgot to do that. And there. He needs a little more water. Tap off the end. And then I'm going to turn this so that I can get to it and be comfortable. And I am going to do the same thing there. Just like that. Maybe a little bit longer. Yeah. And maybe a little thicker here at the very tip. Okay, let's let this body dry and we'll come back in and darken it up. Okay, I just looked at my tube and this is indigo that I'm going to be putting on. And I'm getting it thick. Nice and thick. Oh yeah, because I want this to be dark. And I don't need it to be wet on wet to do all the flowy stuff. This is just kind of a solid body that I'm painting in. It adds a little bit of interest because this is so loose and flowy. And then we've got this solid body right in the middle. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I think that's really good. Now, something that you could do is you could come in here around the edges if you don't like these little bumpy edges. I kind of like that, and I'm going to leave mine, but you could wet your brush, get a little bit of the darker paint, and kind of outline it. I'm going to keep mine just like this. The other thing that you can check is to see if it will fit in a 5x7 frame. Now, I didn't do this at the beginning. I just kind of eyeballed it and I kind of know what is going to fit now because I've done enough of these. But if you would lay your frame down in the beginning and just put little dots in the corners, it'll help you to know if your picture is going to fit. The other thing is this is a 6x8 sketchbook, which makes it super convenient if you're going to frame it in a little 5x7. So I'll include a link to these little photo mats, super handy for framing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little exercise in wet on wet, just a loose little butterfly. I think it turned out really cute. So thanks for wandering with me. Come back and wander with me again soon, and blessings to you.